Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, wonderful listeners and viewers of Imala TV. This is your host, Lawrence Susan. We're back again for another episode of the program, Education Hour. It takes place every Saturday from 11 to 12 o'clock. So, with me today in the studio is a guest from the school called Olino Senior Secondary School. And then so we have a very important topic to discuss today. Then before we go into the topic in detail, I'm going to allow him to introduce himself to you and then tell us who he is. So Mr. Man, the floor is yours. Welcome to the Relative.
Yeah, thank you so much, Madam Sise, and greetings to the viewers. I am Mr. Lamin Kanyi, a teacher, a civic education teacher, and also geography teacher at Olinum Upper and Senior Secondary School. So it's a pleasure to be here on Jimbala TV.
Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Khan, for having me. It's a pleasure having you.
It's a pleasure. Yeah.
Thank you so very much. Nuyu nañ la Ousmane Diatta bëri nañ mais ñu naan yow bu baax a baax suñu caméraman bi borom caméra bu set bi Imala TV télé bu leer bi nga xam ne yéen ñu leen di on ngeen follow def leen YouTube ngeen ngeen type Imala TV ngeen subscribe ngeen like ngeen comment foofu la ngeen nga amee programme Education Hour bi ñu discuss ko important. Okay, today the topic of discussion will be the problems affecting the education system of the Gambia. That's the topic of discussion today, Mr. Kanye.
Yeah.
Yeah, our topic is the problems affecting the education system of the Gambia. So first of all, I think the question will be, what are some of the problems that you think, as a teacher, is affecting the education system of the Gambia?
Thank you so much, Madam Sise. And I think it is a very important topic that we really need to talk about because there are so many factors that are affecting the education system of the Gambia. And then to begin with, I think one of the problems that we have to talk about is the problem of inadequate qualified teachers. And when you say inadequate qualified teachers, some will say we have a lot of qualified teachers in the field, but then it doesn't mean you have to go to the Gambia College or to go to the University of the Gambia and become a qualified teacher. And when you say qualified teacher, something that if you get the qualification of a qualified teacher, then you are qualified automatically. But it is different. It doesn't mean when you have the qualification of a qualified teacher makes you to be qualified. And the reason why I say that is because if you look at the methodologies some teachers use, you can clearly tell that they are not qualified, and that is one reason why the education system of the Gambia is not going as expected. And then most teachers, the teaching methodologies, as I said, that they use is not fit for purpose. Because one of the problems we have in the teaching field is some teachers, or most teachers I can even say, are using what we call book knowledge. They teach students to have book knowledge, to open books, ask students questions, and they go and cram those questions and answers, come and write those ones in their tests and exams, and at the end of the day, you evaluate that, okay, these people have understood what we learned or what we have taught them. But that is totally different from what we call education. Education cannot work like that. You have to make sure that students understand the context. The students go beyond cramming questions, but understanding what you are teaching them. So this is how they can be able to develop critical thinking skills that can make them to be impactful individuals in the society. You will agree with me that if you look at the education system of the Gambia, it is developed in such a way that students are forced to become job seekers, right? We are graduating thousands of students at senior schools. We are graduating thousands of students at the Gambia College every year. We are graduating thousands of students at the different universities we have in the Gambia, especially the University of the Gambia. But the things we are teaching them are totally different from the things that we need in the society. So that makes them to be automatically job seekers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dogma la xam naa ne leen si dugal olof.
Yeah, dafa am solo.
It's
Yeah.
important ñu nekk outside di déglu.
Yeah.
Wala ñu ñoo bàyyi xel waaye fekk mu ñu laa English language bi.
Yeah.
Ñu dugal si olof ñu xool waaye da nga wax lu am solo. You said something very important.
Yeah.
You said inadequate qualified
Teachers. Yeah.
nga wax ko tamit loo xam ne dafa laaj déggin ci nga understand. Dang ne nekkut ne comme like you just graduate from the Gambia College or you graduate from the university, you have your certificate or again as a really qualified teacher. It takes something else for you to be a very good qualified teacher in order to give the students the knowledge that they deserve.
Exactly.
So that they can ñu mun a génn outside tomorrow ñu develop country bi waaye dama ko wax tamit leneen lu am solo nga ne we are teaching students to cram books to understand cram them pass exam and go out. We're not teaching them to understand this is really what is needed in the country so that tomorrow they can play a very important part in the education system of the Gambia. But that is lacking. So to come back to your point, okay, come like Linga Wahne, we are not having qualified teachers graduating from the Gambian college and the university. If you want to elaborate on that to make layman they are sitting to understand, now use the word of language. And we explain this better so that suñu paa yi ak suñu mère yi seen doom yi ñu dem jàngi ji at the end of the day mun a xam ne lii ak lii moo waral xale yi jàng nañ ba jeexal grade waaye mënu ñoo def benn impact. So what do you have to tell those people explain it all?
Okay, jërëjëf madame Loli Cissé maa ngi nuyu seetaankat yi ñu nekk di seetaan ci YouTube and other mediums. So lu ma doon wax rek question bu ma laajte mooy lan nga foog ne ñoo nekk di problems that are affecting the education system of the Gambia yan problème lañ nekk di jànkuwanteel si mbiri si wàllum jànga. So fu ma ko dooree mooy inadequate qualified teachers si suma gis-gis qualified teachers yuñ soxla amuñ ko te soo waxee qualified teachers mostly ñeneen ñi luñ dee wax mooy soo demee Gambia college nga am qualification of a qualified teacher then you are qualified xam nga loolu moo nekk mindset Gambia ne but loolu dafa utee ak qualified teacher. So sometimes tamit dañ laa wax ne soo demee the university nga study then nga am qualification of a qualified teacher nga but dafa utee. So most of the time teacher yi soo xoolee luñ dee jàngale xale yi mooy pour ñu am book knowledge mooy lu nekk ci book bi nga dugal loolu ci boppa bi waaye dafa dem beyond loolu noonu foog nga jàngal leen lan moo nekk actual education. Waaw te loolu lu bon la nekkul ne comme ñu pass exam loolu nekkul lu baax waaye da nga war a make sure loo leen jàngal ñu xam ko in real life because sometimes mën nga nekk ci class example a biology teacher nga jàngal xale yi ne biology is the study of living things ñu karaam loolu so yow as a teacher da nga war a make sure nga develop loo xamante ne sooy laajte xale yi dañoo xam not just waaw dina xam ne lii la yaa ngi understand waaye ñun lu ñu dee def mooy book knowledge xale dafa karaam biology is the study of living things dafa karaam loolu soo ko laajtee daf ko answer mu am a whole mark waaye loolu minute ne daf ko xam so dafa am solo pour xale bi jéena gis living thing mu ne okay biology is the study of these things yaa ngi understand living things waaye soo xoolee suñu education system bi luñ nekk di def foofu noonu si suma gis-gis mënutaa solve the problems you have in the society because dañ nekk di jàngal xale yi in a way that book knowledge la ñoo am loolu nag dina tax suñ graduate dañoo ñëw toog si dëkk bi ut liggéey waaye critical thinking skills buñ soxla pour mun a nekk ñoo xamante ne ñooy create jobs duñ ko mën a lii ni develop so foog gaay dellu waat toppa rang boo xamante ne daal ñooy nekk rang bu ñuy ut liggéey daal te loolu foog naa dañ si war a graduate pour mun a gis ne daal dëkk bi dem si kanam.
Okay, thank you very much. So now my other question will be, what do you think? What would it take for you to be a qualified teacher?
Exactly. Problem come in English or in English. Okay. The problems, as I said, are many, but I think we will come to them one after the other. But we're still at the point of inadequate qualified teachers. And your question is, what does it take for you to become a qualified teacher? It goes beyond being trained at the Gambia College, poly. If you look at the Gambia College, in fact, the same mess that has been going on from primary school, kindergarten, in fact, primary school, upper senior, secondary, and towards tertiary, it's the same mess that is continuing. Because you teach people about book knowledge in primary school, you teach them book knowledge upper, you teach them book knowledge secondary. When they go to college also, the same book knowledge is what continues. And that is a problem. So you have to, what it takes to become a qualified teacher goes beyond cramming. It has to be, a teacher has to be trained on the things that can make you to become a qualified teacher, not just understanding book knowledge. So you have to make sure you learn the courses very well, learn the things that can make you to become a qualified teacher, so that when you come back, because the purpose, you have the mastery of the subject that you learn, not just cramming.
I'm not cutting you off, but I think when you come to this, I have a teacher to praise.
Okay.
At the graduate college. That is Mr. Promise.
Mr. Promise, okay. You know. I used to hear his name. I think science, I don't know.
Yeah, he's a
science lecturer, yeah.
He's a man who's really doing well.
Yeah.
When he takes you, he tells you, I'm not teaching you to go and teach your students to cram.
Promise and other teachers have to be praised. Yeah. And you nekk di joxe book knowledge foog naa dañu war a graduate ci loolu. You know, waaye damaa ñëw si benn faana boo xamante ne boobu tamit dafa am solo pour ñu waxtaanee ko. Because I've talked about the problems of inadequate teachers in the teaching field. But let's now ask the question, why do we have these inadequate qualified teachers in the field? Exactly. So the point is, exactly what it takes. So part of the things it takes for us to have qualified teachers is for us to envisage the curriculum system that we use. But I'm saying it's so disheartening for us to have a curriculum system that is not solving the problems of the society. Okay. Because the curriculum is badly designed, therefore you cannot teach people the right things. That is why the problem of book knowledge cannot be solved. Okay. What I mean by curriculum, if you look at our curriculum department, before you bring a particular area or a particular curriculum system in the school system, you have to make sure it is something that is relevant. Because there are three things that are very important when it comes to education. Quality is number one. Quality is second to none in education. Education has to be quality. You must have quality education for you to be productive in the society. But Gambia, we don't have quality education. Education has to be relevant. What does that relevance mean? You have to make sure what you study is relevant to the things that you need in the society. You will agree with me that there are so many subjects that people are learning in the schools, and they don't need those things to be impactful individuals in the society. So it is not relevant to their lives.
So you want to say our education system in the Gambia is irrelevant?
Not at all. Not at all. Not what I said. What I mean is, we have to envisage these things, go back to the drawing board, and have a proper curriculum system. The curriculum system that we have currently is not solving the problems of the society. So what I'm actually talking about, more harms. Okay. Because in fact, we have to be honest. My words, and I believe even when the president is listening, I'm going to say this. Let the curriculum department go back to the drawing table and solve the problems of the society by developing curriculums that could contribute to solving the problems that we have in the society. And one of the things I said is, we have a bad curriculum system. All of you will agree with me now. Even you will agree with me. We have a bad curriculum system. You go to primary school, they teach you about book knowledge. They don't introduce areas that can make you to become a critical thinker. All they teach you is to have book knowledge and graduate with that and come back and transfer the same book knowledge. As a teacher, it is so disheartening for you to come back and continue to transfer book knowledge. 95% of Gambian teachers are people who give out book knowledge. Yeah, so how can that solve the problem?
Yeah. I know we have very sharp and smart students.
Yeah.
Because the moment you explain, they understand beyond your explanation. Mm-hmm. So when you give them tests, they write their own understanding, they express themselves in a way that they understand. Sometimes it's very disheartening. See teachers might be wrong. Mm-hmm. When the students complain, what they will tell, go back to your book. Mm-hmm. Is this what is in the book? Mm-hmm. Is this what I tell you? Mm-hmm. Instead of encouraging them, telling them, yeah, not only what is in the book, it's what is correct.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, they can have sometimes these students are very smart and intelligent.
That comes back to my point of inadequate qualified teachers. Okay. If you are badly trained, you badly train others. So. I don't know whether you understand. The trend continues. So the problems in the society persist. Yeah. So that is why we have to fix this. Okay. It is the curriculum system that is making all these things to happen. Okay. If I were the president, that was what was going to start. That was where I have to start with. Okay. The curriculum system is what makes up a society.
I guess they want to listen to this program.
They have to. Okay. The curriculum system has to be properly designed in a way that what the society needs is what we will be teaching our students. We give them quality education so that they can come back to society and solve the existential problems you have in the society. But you give them bad education, they become bad people in the society. So curriculum is what dictates who the students will become.
Are the ones coming back to teach the future?
The same, because the same trend will continue. So that is why I say it is important for the government to go back and then look at the curriculum that we use. I sometimes when you talk about that, some will tell you that look, the introduction of civic education is one of the things that is needed. Example, maybe it is commendable. But let me now explain a little bit about this.
May I ask you this question?
You can.
You bring a very important point about this civic education.
Yeah.
I think it was not introduced long ago.
No, it started from 2 years ago.
Do you think it's really essential to bring in this civic education into the
It is.
It is very
And for far too long, it's long overdue, I can say. For far too long, Gambians were supposed to be taught about this. The reason why we have these societal vices in our country is because people don't know. Like, one of the things that civic education teaches you is love for country, honesty, oneness. You understand what I mean? These are things that are needed in every human being. Love for each other. So these are things that has to be developed from grassroots, from the grassroots. So now they introduce it at senior secondary school, and which is a wrong footing for me. It's a wrong footing. It is supposed to start from the grassroots. If someone grow with that kind of heart for love for country and have love for people, love for every individual, that individual can never be tribalist. You understand what I mean? That individual can never be talking about religions. That individual is going to see each and every one as equal. You understand what I mean?
One point of view,
yeah.
So have been started
from the kindergarten upward. By no way saying that it is they're supposed not to introduce it at senior secondary school. I'm not saying that, but it has to start at the nursery. And then the same mess that has been going on is what they have done here by introducing civic education at senior school. But at the same time, the problem of book knowledge is still the methodology that teachers are teaching. Teaching their students
the curriculum, like the curriculum department, they are watching and listening. So Mr. Kanyi and I and all the educationists are calling you and we are begging, let you introduce this civic education from the grassroots, that is the kindergarten, coming up to the senior school. It's a very good idea.
Not just introducing, but making sure that the Gambia government train teachers in a right way. In a right way.
Yeah, we're coming to the solutions that we think.
Okay.
Yeah, we're coming to that.
Okay.
Now, you talking about this inadequate, inadequate qualified teachers.
Yeah.
You're talking about that. Now, the question I want to ask is like we have the University of the Gambia, we have the Gambia College, and other institutions now are private, where teachers are trained to become teachers and then come out and serve their country, the nation, this is the Gambia. But then here we are talking about inadequate of those teachers. We are having inadequate qualified teachers. Okay. Now, don't you think also like the government, they have a part to play? Like for example, we have only one government university, if I'm correct. For now, I think that is the Gambian University. And this was around the March of 1999. Understand? That was, we have independence from 1965.
That was the extension program, in fact.
From
the extension program.
From independence up to 1999. That was the time we have the only Gambian university in the country. And then it was only the Gambia College that was here training teachers.